I will just like to remind President Ruto that he cannot solve some of his problems with the same level of thinking that he used to create them. Having it in mind that some of his CSs currently were vetted opposed by Parliament, but due to powers of the executive, they are today incumbent. The other day it was Moses Kuria to whom advised Kenyans that among the 1,000 ways to die, the introduction of GMO should be added among them. Latest being CS Florence Board. This is the latest statement that she issued, and I quote, "My attention is drawn to the viral media reports on the sale and purchase transaction of a house in Karen between myself and a company associated with Honorable Edud Morio. I entered into an agreement to purchase the property at a negotiated and agreed purchase price. Resultantly, I signed by part of the agreement for sale and transmitted the agreement through my lawyers to the vendor's lawyers for signing on their part. Their lawyers, Morio Mungai and Company, acknowledged receipts of the signed agreement for sale by stamping on the forwarding letter by my advocates. In compliance with the respective clauses of the agreement, I sourced a 10% deposit from my SACCO and paid directly to the vendor's lawyers account via RTGS. It was a term in the agreement for sale that the completion period of the transaction was 90 days from the date of signing the agreement. We agreed that I take occupation of the house while I retreated to seek a mortgage facility for the balance, which I legitimately expected to obtain within the agreed transaction period of 90 days. Unfortunately, in an astounding weave of events, in less than 30 days of the agreement, Honorable Edward Murio and his wife attempted to unlawfully evict my children from the house while I was out of the country. They were accompanied by armed goons, necessitating the need for police presence in the premises. For a colleague in leadership to take advantage of my absence from the country to run a hate campaign instead of waiting to engage me upon return is not only cute but baffling. The dramatized and sensational allegations are fabricated to unlawfully dissociate from the agreement ostensibly because they have found a better deal. The transaction was a private engagement between a willing seller and a willing buyer, both parties duly represented by lawyers in total conformity with the law. The media pitch was therefore unwarranted and ancillary to the transaction. Thank you. Honorable Florence Bor. End of quote. Now, kindly help me answer these few questions regarding the ongoing tussle between the CS and the MP. If I'm just to contextualize, that is in regard to the buyer being the CS and the seller being the MP. And question number 1, where on earth does a 10% deposit entitle you to the right to occupancy without you satisfying all the terms of sale? Or maybe, if you are to be fair enough, if indeed the agreement stipulated that the buyer had the right to occupy the premises, then automatically she did it legally. And question number 2, what if the seller is just trying to breach the terms of agreement, having it in mind that maybe he or she would have gotten a better offer from another buyer? And question number 3, if indeed it was her right to occupation as per what the agreement states, why will the seller then decide to change? Because if indeed you do think that the CS doesn't make sense, then equally, mortgages wouldn't be making sense too. Simply because you will have to wait for the entire period of the deal, maybe 10 to 20 years, for you to occupy the premises. So I see some sense in her statement. And question number 4, why will the buyer and the seller both have to involve the media as the only source of information in this matter.
Waziri wa Leba Florence Bore amevunja kimya chake kufuatia utata wa umiliki wa nyumba katika mtaa wa kifahari wa Karen. Kupitia taarifa kwa vyombo vya habari, waziri huyo amedai kuwa walikuwa na makubaliano na mbunge wa Gatanga Edward Mureu kumuuzia nyumba hiyo na kuwa alikuwa amelipa 10% ya malipo.
With the biasness of our Kenyan media, it becomes next to impossible for we to know where the truth is as far as this matter is concerned. And that is why I'm not willing to make any premature judgment concerning this matter. But honestly, that has just been my opinion. If you do have a contrary opinion to mine, kindly do feel free to drop them in the comment section and I'll give them a right of reply. And as I come to the penultimate part of this video, in case if you're watching me for the very first time, kindly do consider hitting on the subscribe button. If you've been watching my videos and you have not subscribed, kindly do consider hitting on the subscribe button. And more so, if you're watching me from a different platform, either Telegram, TikTok or Facebook, kindly just head on over to YouTube, search for Mohamed Sudi. I'll be the first right person to pop up if matters socio-economic and political matters are your great areas of concern. Kindly do consider hitting on the subscribe button so that each and every time that I upload a new video, it will automatically reflect on a notification panel. And by so doing, you'll simply be supporting my content. Thank you, and may God bless you.